Well, hello everyone, I am Fracture, and this is Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. I'm just fighting my way up to the tower in the early game, trying to light the beacon. So, let's continue up to, third floor I guess. We're on the second floor right now. And if you're ever curious where I am in the game, the name's always under the map. Isn't that handy?
I'm sensing more darkspawn.
Alright, let's go!
Of course. So I shall.
And of course, as before, I'm only switching to dual striking if for some reason I can't get behind the character. This does more damage in a face-to-face fight, but it prevents you from doing backstabs and getting criticals, so...
Lovely.
Okay, well, it looks like this floor is still the second floor. It's just the stairway to the stairway. Alright. And quick tab. That's tab key lights stuff up. See that I've looted everything except a couple of corpses. Now, one of the things I'm finding with this Let's Play, I haven't played much of it, of course, being this early in the game, is that when I'm Let's Playing, I find the commentary most entertaining when they're having conversations with each other. And during the fight scenes, which are quite lengthy, they're not doing that. They're not having conversations with each other. So the commentary might get a little dry. At some point, I think what I'm going to decide to do
All right.
is think of topics to chat about as we're playing the game. But
Loghain better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The
Oh.
king is depending on us.
I'm sure he's ready to charge. It's just in which direction will he be charging? I was saying something, wasn't I, before Alistair rudely interrupted? Oh yes, about thinking up topics. I've done that in previous Let's Plays, and I ramble. I enjoy rambling, so that's quite useful. But I haven't spent any time thinking up topics. They also tend to be sort of dated. You know, I'll pick topics out of the news or whatever. So if you're watching this any more than a few months down the road, the topics may be a little old. Still gives me something to ramble about, and you can tell already that I really enjoy the sound of my own glorious voice. Let's do a heads up here. Makes life a bit easier for a rogue.
Now this should be amusing. Well, all right.
Actually, I think what I will do is try and get behind everybody. So the +4s that you're seeing are the fire weapons that the mage has given us. And how are we doing? Well, we're a little injured. Is that it? We've still got... No, we've still got this guy. I shouldn't have turned that off, I guess. Alright, and I think this mage, in terms of healing... herbalism? No, that's not all that useful. No, he doesn't have any healing. Nothing useful there. Now, I did a look around. One of the other things I mentioned in the previous Let's Play of this game was that the tactics allow you to turn on things. Like here, he's got shield cover, and he's got a tactic that turns it on automatically.
As you wish.
Which is good. You know, if he's getting hit by arrows, he turns it on. But there's no obvious tactic to turn it off at the end of the battle, and I'm just gonna spend a few seconds. I saw something in a description, but I have a feeling it was intended for when somebody has far more tactics, and it may have just been somebody's wishful thinking. Target was going to be self. Any. And can we... So we can deactivate a mode, but we don't want to do that constantly, because if we activate it up here, activate shield cover, he'll immediately turn it off. I suppose we could deactivate it at the top and then have stuff turn it on, but I have a feeling it would be going on and off, which we don't want either. But I don't see any way to skip past, and I thought there might have been. Let's see. Here, enemy clear, health, status, any, has armor type surrounded by enemies. Okay, I was thinking maybe you could at the start of the battle when you're not surrounded by any enemies jump over. If anybody knows for sure, give me a yell in the chat. What I'm intending to do is I think maybe set self any deactivate shield cover, and then for rule number 1. Then for rule number 2 it would be this, activate shield cover. Would that cause it to go on and off? I just can't be bothered to test. It would be easy enough, but that would involve effort. So
as you desire.
I do desire. Yeah, I don't know. They had a good concept with the blood here, but there was a lot of chats about it. They kind of overdid it. It's rather ridiculous. The, you know, I think it's programmatic blood, and really, people don't spray like that when you slaughter them. They should have kind of positioned it better, and it's kind of silly when you're standing there talking to the innkeeper covered in blood, and he's, "Hi, how are you? Hungry?"
And so I shall.
And so you shall. Oh yes, this area.
That lever over there! It will release the hound!
Yes it will, so I will go and release the lever.
And so I shall.
Let's spread some glory!
Hehe, beheaded another one. So you can see that releasing the hounds was very effective. Of course, I'm on normal difficulty, so
Of course.
I probably would have done quite well without that. But it certainly makes for an easier battle. One of the other things I'd pondered about this Let's Play is that I might do a little bit of role-playing, as this is my dog that I got right from the start of the game, and sounds like I've had him for a while, you know, in the in-game story. Maybe I will bring him on all the fights. That's a little bit limiting, because of course it's better to have, a couple of mages and what have you. And that would limit me to only having one additional character, which would be, what's her name? The other thief-like character. So that might be very restrictive. Yeah, I probably can't do that. I wanted to maybe roleplay a little bit and have him along at all times, but now that I think about it, that may be just too restrictive, because Alistair would be coming along, certainly, as my fighter, or maybe the other guy that's in the cage in the future. And that leaves only one slot, and if I brought the other thief along to unlock stuff, I can't bring a mage. Yeah, I guess sounded like a nice idea. It's just not going to work.
It appears we will need to fight the entire Blight ourselves.
Wow, you were kidding. stunned. Now, I seriously don't think we would have survived that without these extra dogs. Especially when they do that. Unfortunately for us, we can't bring them along much further than where we are now. It's a shame. They're incredibly effective in packs like that. Or blank vellum.
Of course.
Oh boy. I think who they need to get to do a voiceover for these characters is there's two people with very unique voices that I kind of like. People will either think their voices are incredibly annoying, or I think it would make for a cute voiceover for these little sort of comments they make. One is Lacey Chabert, and the other one is Stephanie Beard. I don't know if you know Stephanie Beard. She's did some voiceover acting and did some stuff on Canadian TV, but she's got kind of a, well, unique voice. More crates, and luckily not a lot of crates with locks.
As you desire.
I do desire. Okay, well, he's not going to let me behind him. So let's do that. And I want to stun the guy. That's the one.
Lovely.
Now, something that's quite easy to do when you're playing this game is, I don't know if you'd call it accidentally, leave these additional dogs behind and make this fight a little more difficult for you than it really needs to be. Sometimes they stay in the original room. It depends where that first fight pans out. And if that happens, those dogs could be standing around this corner here. And as luck would have it, my fight ended and the dogs were standing here, so when I opened this door they all came rushing in, and as you saw, it made this battle really easy. Sometimes they'll end up all standing over here and not join the battle, and of course your option is you run over and train the enemies over to the dogs. Or you just fight them yourself, of course. It's completely up to you. Okay, now we're coming up to what can be... It's one of those battles, it's depending on the layout of your characters, it's either very easy or very difficult, and I've had both experiences. And before we go in, I'm just going to check the inventory and what have you. Not my talents, not this. This is the button I want to push. Just make sure I'm holding onto the right stuff, and I know I'm not. I know for one, I've been doing this whole fight with... I've got a better dagger than this. So, I have, I believe... I thought I had a better dagger than this. Did I maybe I sold it. That's always a possibility. Oh no, there we are. Enchanted dagger. Plus 4 to attack. So of course we want that instead of a regular dagger. And it immediately becomes flaming. I almost... I think I will also apply poison once I'm in the next room. So I've got studded leather. Do I want chainmail? It ups my fatigue somewhat. And I still haven't figured out at what point do I start getting penalized for my backstabs and that sort of thing. Again, that's what the comment section's for if anybody's interested in telling me. I know if I was wearing like a full suit of heavy armor, well, I don't have the strength for it. So I think maybe my only limitation is if I'm strong enough to wear this stuff, go ahead and wear it. Do we have chainmail gloves? Well, I got my item set bonus. Oh, and I already had chainmail boots. So I don't know. As a rogue, I usually wouldn't do that, and you can see my fatigue is much higher. So that could be a bad thing. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see how they're doing it. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So what happens, I don't know if it's a direct math, 22% more, but what it's saying here is that the more fatigued you are, the more stamina it costs to activate these. So I wonder, yeah, so activation 31. Let's use this, Deadly Strike, as an example. Activation 31, let's see if it shows me. And if I am naked, my fatigue is 15%, which I guess is just from this. So